feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. When it's sink or swim, only option is to win. In the murky water, not a thought of giving in.
Welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. I'm Brad Berger, along with my co-hosts, Dan Whedon and JB Wilson. Today, we are celebrating 2 seasons of the Seattle Shrimp Tank and looking back at the common entrepreneurial elements of 48 guests. So to listen to the entire podcast, visit seattle.shrimptankpodcast.com or subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. We're always interested in your feedback, so please do not forget to rate us. So, Dan, for you, what stands out of the attributes of the entrepreneurs that we've had the opportunity to interview over the past 2 years?
Brad, for me, it's a combination of 2 factors. Number one is the ability to look outside of the box, to see something different, to see a place where they might be able to make a difference, to create a product or a service, and that ability to see beyond the box, so to speak. But the second, I think, is just as important. It's the courage to take the step outside of the box. No safety net. In a sense, maybe somebody pushing them, but that ability to say, yes, I trust in myself, I'm buying into myself, and I'm going to do this. I think that probably, for me, stands out the most.
Yeah. JB, same question.
Yeah, so another common theme that we saw over the last 2 years' worth of all of our guests was this concept of investment. And so the 3 kind of subparts to that are investment in your network, in your community. A lot of our entrepreneurs and business owners belong to business clubs or Rotary clubs or community events, but they really saw a passion for their community to be invested in it. The second part of investment was the investment in their people, the people that worked with them, that worked for them, and really building them up both by example and by incentive. And of course, lastly is investment in themselves. And this looks from an ongoing learning aspect to continuing education to really pushing and furthering yourself and seeing that as an investment in yourself.
Sure. So thanks. For me, there were 2 things I think go hand in hand. One is clarity of purpose, coupled with the passion that they have, and really understanding, what it is that they want to do, why they want to do it, and going out and simply doing it. But also the path that they took to become an entrepreneur. Not everybody just wakes up one day and says, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. For many of our guests that we had on the show, they had a life before they were an entrepreneur. They may have come from corporate America, or they had a military background, or they were a stay-at-home mom or dad, and then they finally really found what they really wanted to do, and they went out and did it. And that final element that I think was just really important and evident in all of our guests was this concept of life balance. And it talks a little bit about the courageousness that it takes to go out and become an entrepreneur. And I think there's a fear associated with that. And among the fears, I think it's, it's not only not stable, but I'm going to have to work really hard. It's no longer an 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 gig. It's 40 hours. I'm going to have to work evenings and weekends. And that's true in the early stages of any entrepreneur's career. I know that's true for many of us.
Yes.
A lot of late nights, a lot of long days, a lot of weekends, a lot of missed things. But the reward at the end of that is the ability to really control your schedule, to have the life that you really want to dream, and have that life balance, because it's so incredibly crucial to the success overall and in the long term for entrepreneurs.
And ultimately, Brad, it means having fun. I think at the end of all that, the great reward is you're having fun, because so many people say, I don't have fun at work. And this is an opportunity to have fun. Yeah. So listen, we want to thank our listeners, our subscribers, and our guests over the past 2 years. Your support is what makes this possible and inspires us to keep bringing you an amazing guest lineup.
Well, once again, this is just a taste of what you can expect by listening to the entire podcast. Visit seattle.shrimptankpodcast.com or subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. We would love to hear from you. And please do not forget to rate us.
And join us back in the tank for our next show on October 10th, when our guest will be Monica Blackwood with West Sound Workforce. For now, the hay is in the barn.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. When it's sink or swim, only option is to win. In the murky water, not a thought of giving in. I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. When it's sink or swim, only option is to win. In the murky water, not a thought of giving in. Welcome to the shrimp tank. Word to Chris Hanks. The one to put it all together. This is big things. Doing big things.